Made the soil breathe, made me royalty. Not trying to help this 2 or 3, I need more to feed. Hey, used to be a disease, only full of greed. They say, John, but why you front? And I say I'm supposed to
Set my
lead.
face to the East Gate. Yeah, man.
In the front,
Shalom.
screaming, no more sleeping people, cause we need you awake. Keep on stomping on the ground till it bleed or it break. Bringing peace back to the hood, you either take heed or escape. Jude on the totem pole. Show them dudes and they don't, so they know they rose. Yeah, put your fist up in the air, do you hold the pose? Yeah, and we wish a demon would like Pinocchio's. Yeah, still we throwing fire. Yeah, wow, wow. We need to come back together. Once we start spreading the love, then we gonna move forever. Shit through the hood shit in the block. Time for the 12 tribes to come together like a mob. Real love through the street shit, through the hood shit in the block. Time for
Shalom. Shemai. Hello. Listen. This is the Book of the Upright, the Azareth Protocol. It is the unified master synthesis of the real story, a 4,000-word sovereign document and coded manual for the geopolitical and spiritual reclamation of the Red Earth, which is the Americas. The Book of the Upright, the Azareth Protocol, a coded manual for the restoration of the Edenic organization and the damnation of the Edomite ledger. Introduction: the sovereignty of the source. The history of the world is not a record of human progress, but a ledger of administrative theft. For centuries, a system of finished carnal governance known as the Edomite ledger has occupied the most sacred geography on the planet, the red earth of the Americas. While systemically redacting the identity of its true inhabitants, this document serves as the formal master synthesis. It proves through the forensic etymology of the Hebrew tongue and the Masoretic data of Genesis chapter 1 that the Americas are the original Garden of Eden. It outlines the mechanism by which the Jacob organization, the subplanters, transforms into Esherela, the organization, the upright, to catch the heel of the expiring world and restore the primary organization of the Creator. Chapter 1, the esoteric genesis, the geology of the divine. The Edomite ledger begins its deception by mistranslating the first movement of creation. To the ledger, in the beginning, is a dead point in time. To the upright, it is a statement of sovereign headship. 1.1 Bereshit, the primary organization, Strong's H7225. The word Bereshit refers to the chief or the first fruits of a system. Genesis chapter 1 is the record of the first organization established upon the Eretz, which is the Strong's number is H776, the specific landmass of the Americas. The Americas and the archipelagos of the Caribbean were the laboratory where the divine constitutions were first enacted. 1.2 The chemistry of the red earth, Adama, H127. The ledger teaches that man was made from generic dust. The esoteric truth is that Adam, H120, is chemically and etymologically bonded to the Adama. Adam, the red man, Edom, the red one, the carnal steward, Adama, the red ground. The Americas are the only landmass characterized by the vast iron-rich red earth required for the synthesis of the Adamic organization. The garden was not a local orchard, it was the entire continent arrangement of the Americas. The four rivers mentioned in Genesis, the Pishon, Gihon, Hiddekion, and Parat, are the great arterial waterways of the American continents, the lifelines of the original garden. 1.3 The Celestial Clock. Genesis chapter 1 verse 14. The Edomite ledger replaced the divine clock with artificial calendars to hide the signs and season of and Moedim. Of H226, the stars above the Americas are beacons of the takeover. Moed H4150, the fixed appointed times for the changing of the world organizations. The heavens above the red earth are currently striking the hour of the heel. The signs indicate that the Edomite lease on the garden has expired and the upright are authorized to move to the head. Chapter 2 The Damnation of the Edomite Ledger. We formally indict the Edomite ledger as a system of Olem, meaning a hidden or concealed organization. It is the system of Esau, the finished man who represents the end of the carnal cycle. The science of reduction. 2.1 The science of reduction. The ledger damns itself through the root Alam H5956, which means to hide. It hid the garden by calling it the New World. It hid the inhabitants by calling them Indians or colonies. It hid the law by calling it religion. By redacting the names, the ledger attempted to sever the legal claim of the upright to the red earth. 2.2 The Esau-Edom fraud. Esau is the organization of the rough and hairy. Seir H8165. It is the system of the handled or finished physical world. The Edomite ledger is a terminal accounting system. It lives by the sword and the red pottage, the extraction of resources from the red earth without spiritual cultivation. It is a system that occupies the garden but cannot access its frequency because it is spiritually finished, dead. 2.3 The accounting of debt. The ledger manages the world through the illusion of debt and world arrangements. Cosmos G2889. It creates an orderly arrangement of lies to keep the Jacob organization in a state of servitude because this system is finished, it has no future. It is currently collapsing under the weight of its own crooked accounting. It has no spiritual future, has no logical future. There's no rational in it. There's no good rational. Chapter 3 Jacob, the architect of the systemic takeover. The character of Jacob is the most misunderstood code in the Bible. He is the strategic supplanter. 3.1 The power of the heel Akeb. Jacob is the heel catcher. To catch the heel is to grab the very end of a cycle. The prophecy. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. 2 Esdras 6 and 9. Jacob's geopolitical role is to wait until the Edomite ledger reaches its terminal phase. He is the rear guard who pulls down the organization by its own monumentum. The Azareth maneuver. The return to the headquarters. The 10 tribes migration to Azareth 2nd Esdras 13 and 45, the hidden land, was the greatest strategic retreat in history. They returned to the Red Earth, Garden of Eden, to wait in Sabbath. They moved the original organization back to its geographical source, the Americas, to wait for the Edomite cycle to expire. That's what I wrote. The supplanting logic. A takeover is not an act of violence, it is an act of replacement. Jacob supplants Esau by acquiring the birthright, the legal claim to the earth, and blessing the spiritual authority over the world. The takeover occurs when the Jacob organization realizes it is ready, it is already standing in the garden, and that the Edomite ledger is merely a ghost system. Chapter 4. The Asha'elo transformation, the restoration of the upright. The final and most critical phrase of the protocol is the straightening. A crooked organization cannot manage the Garden of Eden. From Jacob to Asha'elo. Jacob, the crooked, twisted, must become Asha'elo, the upright. Yasha, to be straight, right, or upright. This is the ethnic software update. I'll give I copyright the ethnic software update. I copyright the ethnic software update. Sorry. This is the ethnic software update, which I copyright today. The takeover is triggered when the inhabitants of the red earth align their internal frequency with the straightness of the creator. 4.2. The geopolitical synthesis of straightness. When the people become upright, the land, the red earth, realigns. This is a law of physics within the garden. An upright organization creates an upright world. The Edomite ledger, which relies on crooked deception to function, cannot exist in a field of straightness. The straightening of the people is literal death of the Edomite system. The administration of the garden. As Esha'ela, the upright are rightful. As Asha'elo, the upright are the rightful administrators of the red earth. They do not rule through carnal force, Esau, but through the primary organization, Bereshit. They manage the garden according to the signs and seasons of the celestial clock, restoring the abundance and peace that the Edomite ledger sought to destroy. Chapter 5, the Protocol of Reclamation, the manual. To execute the takeover, the following protocols must be observed by the upright. Repudiation of the ledger. Declare the names, titles, and debts of the Edomite system as hidden fraud, Olem. Recognition of the Adamah. Acknowledge that the Americas are the red earth, Garden of Eden, and that you are its biological and spiritual heirs. The Azareth realization: understand that you are not in the new world, but in the hidden headquarters of the Most High. The straightening: transition from the supplanter Jacob to the upright Esher through the law, through the adherence to the original law. Synchronization: align your movements with the signs and seasons of Genesis chapter 1 verse 14. Conclusion: the age of the upright, which is Yasher Elor, Hephzibah. The Edomite ledger is done by its own expiration. The red earth of the Americas is calling to its red man. The signs in the heavens have signaled the end of the concealment. The real story is now revealed. The Jacob organization has caught the heel. The crooked has been made straight. The hidden land of Ozworth is now the visible throne of the kingdom. The garden is restored. The ledger is erased. The upright are home. Amen.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Welker.
Subscribe, like and subscribe, man. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe. This is Hezekiah, HEZEKIYAH.
There are new questions tonight about just how widespread it already is. This as health officials vow to pick up the pace of the vaccine rollout after acknowledging the effort has fallen.
Need a brain to watch the news.